Good morning, students. In this lecture, I will discuss one of the most important non-aqueous solvent, that is liquid ammonia. So, I will divide this topic into two parts. That is, one in first part I will discuss the physical property, and in the second part I will discuss the chemical properties. So, today in this lecture I will discuss the various physical properties of liquid ammonia. So, let's start with the physical properties of liquid ammonia. Liquid ammonia is a non-aqueous solvent. So, in the classification of solvents, we classified this liquid ammonia into three categories. One is protonic solvent, second one is basic solvent, and third one is ionizing solvent. Now, this liquid ammonia is protonic solvent because of the presence of these three protons. It is basic in nature because of the presence of lone pair on nitrogen atom, and it is ionizing solvent because it has a tendency to undergo autoionization. That's why, because of this property, this is classified into protonic, basic, and ionizing solvent. Now, this is a table given representing the various physical properties of ammonia and water molecule. So, if we compare the properties of ammonia and water molecule, then we came to know that the boiling point of ammonia is 239.65 Kelvin, which is lesser than that of water. Water has boiling point 373 Kelvin and ammonia has 239.65, which is lesser than that of water if we compare aqueous and non-aqueous solvent. The next property is the freezing point. If we compare the freezing point, again ammonia has 195.3 Kelvin, which is again lesser than that of water because water has 273 Kelvin. If we compare the density of aqueous and non-aqueous solvent, then the liquid ammonia has 0.68, whereas the density of water is 1.0. So, if we compare the density, liquid ammonia has less density as compared to that of water. So, the ion mobility of ion is more in ammonia as compared to water. If we compare the dielectric constant, again the dielectric constant of ammonia is 22, which is lesser than that of water, which is 78.5 at 298 Kelvin. If we compare the specific conductance, then again the ammonia has lesser specific conductance as that of water. That is, ammonia has 1 into 10 raised to a minus 11 at 239.5 Kelvin, whereas that in case of water it is 6.0 into 10 raised to a minus 8 at 298 Kelvin. So, if we compare the viscosity of ammonia with that of water, then ammonia has 0.254, whereas water has 0.959. So, ammonia is less viscous than that of water. If we compare the dipole moment of both the solvents, then ammonia is 1.47 and water is 1.85. Again, the dipole moment of ammonia is lesser than that of water. And if we compare the Totten constant, then it is nearly equal, but ammonia is still lesser than that of water, that is 101.2, and water has 109. So these are the various physical properties of water and ammonia if we compare both these solvents, and we came to know that the ammonia, the various properties of ammonia is less than that of water if we compare the boiling point, freezing point, density, dielectric constant, specific conductance, viscosity, dipole moment, Totten constant of liquid ammonia, that is a non-aqueous solvent with aqueous solvent. The non-aqueous solvent liquid ammonia has all these physical properties is less than that of water. So, as a solvent, liquid ammonia has striking similarities with water also, hence it is a water-like solvent. So, why, how both water and liquid ammonia has similar property? Let us discuss. Both are associated by hydrogen bonding. That is, the intermolecular attraction in ammonia due to hydrogen bonding is weaker than in water. So, both the molecules they have hydrogen bonding. In water, it is OH bond. This is the hydrogen bonding. Okay? And in ammonia, again there is a hydrogen bonding because of the presence of nitrogen atom. So, nitrogen will attract the hydrogen of another ammonia molecule. And again in this water molecule, the oxygen will attract the hydrogen of another water molecules. So, there is both are associated by hydrogen bonding. Both ammonia and water, they are polar in nature. Why it is polar in nature? Again, because in water molecule there is a electronegative oxygen atom and electropositive hydrogen atom. So oxygen, due to its electronegativity, it is delta negative because they have a tendency to attract a shared pair of electron towards itself. So it is delta negative, and hydrogen is delta positive. So because of the separation of these charges, this OH bond is polar in nature. And in case of ammonia, nitrogen is electronegative and hydrogen is electropositive. So because of the presence of, again in separation of these charges, NH bond is polar in nature. So both ammonia and water are polar in nature. And autoionization of liquid ammonia and water are almost similar. Let us discuss the autoionization of water and ammonia. In case of water, if water undergo dissociation, it will dissociate into H positive ion and OH negative ion. So again it will combine with another water molecule and form H3O positive. So if two water molecules, they will combine, they will form H3O positive, that is hydronium ion, and OH negative, that is hydroxyl ion. So Kw, that is equilibrium constant of water, it's equal to the product of the concentration of the product, that is H3 plus, H3O plus and OH negative. Then if you multiply the concentration of both the ions, it will come out to 1.0 into 10 to minus 14 at 298 Kelvin. Similar case is in that of ammonia. This ammonia undergo dissociation and it will dissociate into H plus and NH2 negative. When this H plus, they will combine with another ammonia molecule, they will form NH4 plus. So if two ammonia molecules, they will combine, they will form NH4 ammonium ion plus NH2 negative, that is amide ion. So that will, if we compare the equilibrium constant of this Kb, that comes out to be NH4 plus and NH2 negative, then the concentration of the product, that comes out to be 1.9 into 10 to minus 33 at 223 Kelvin. Now the extent of autoionization of liquid ammonia is lesser than that of water. Therefore, ammonia is a weaker conductor of electricity. The dielectric constant of liquid ammonia is lesser than that of water. Liquid ammonia is a polar solvent for ionic compounds because of the dielectric constant of liquid ammonia is less. Low viscosity of ammonia as compared to that of water, so it promotes ionic mobilities. Ion will move faster in ammonia solvent as compared to water because of the low viscosity of ammonia. Next is the solubility in liquid ammonia. So as we have seen, the dielectric constant of liquid ammonia is less than that of water. Therefore, liquid ammonia is expected to be a poor solvent for ionic compounds and better solvent for covalent compounds. So however, many ionic compounds, metals and non-metals, they are soluble in liquid ammonia. So let us discuss the solubility of liquid ammonia in various substances. So first we will discuss, that is ionic compound. So compound with singly charged cation and large anions like isothiocyanates, perchlorates, nitrates, nitrites and iodides, they are soluble in liquid ammonia. For example, ammonium salts like ammonium nitrate. What happened in ammonium nitrate? NH4 has +1 charge, that is single charge molecules. NO3 has -1, again single charge. तो singly charged cation, ठीक है, NH4 +1 singly charge. So ammonium nitrate, ठीक है, and ammonium thiocyanate, again the cation is single charge +1, and ammonium acetate CH3CO negative, ठीक है, CH3CO positive plus NH4 negative. So in this case, the cation is single charge, that is +1, and the anions, they have large size anions. So only that compounds are soluble in liquid ammonia. If we compare the solubility of halides in liquid ammonia, then iodides is more soluble in liquid ammonia because of its larger size, because iodide has larger size as compared to bromides, chloride and fluoride. Fluoride is less soluble because of it is smaller in size. So if we talk about non-metals, then some of the non-metals like sulfur, phosphorus, iodine, they are soluble and they react with the liquid ammonia also. So if we talk about metal, let us discuss the solubility of metals in liquid ammonia. So one of the unusual property of liquid ammonia is its ability to dissolve metal. Liquid ammonia dissolve metal very easily. Yeah. So the metal which have low ionization energy, low sublimation energy and high solvation energy, they readily dissolve in liquid ammonia. Okay. So alkali and alkaline earth metals, they will dissolve in liquid ammonia more easily and they form a metal ammonia complex. In this is a M plus n moles of NH3, they will react and form MNH3 n times. Here M is alkali and alkaline earth metals and this MNH3 n time is a metal ammonia solution, okay, which is blue in color, and if we increase the concentration of metal ion in this solution, it will become bronze color if concentrated, if we increase the concentration of metal in this solution. Clear? So the metal ammonia solution, they are blue colored solution. They are blue colored solution. But if we increase the concentration of metal ions, it will become bronze color. So this metal ammonia solution, they are quite stable, but in the absence of impurity, it become unstable. Okay, so it is stable in the absence of impurities, but if some impurities they are present, then it will become unstable. Yeah. So alkali metals, they can be recovered from this blue solution by evaporation. You can recover the metal from this solution by evaporation. The metal ammonia solution on long standing or in the presence of a catalyst like Fe2O3, platinum black, undergo decomposition and form an amide with the liberation of this H2 gas. Clear? Metal ammonia solution, they show high conductivity which vary with the concentration. Therefore, dilute metal ammonia solution, they are excellent electrolytes. Okay. So these are stable solution. When alkali and alkaline metals they are dissolved in liquid ammonia, they form a stable metal ammonia solution. But if some impurities are present in this solution, then it will become unstable. You can recover the metal from this solution by evaporation, or on long standing it will undergo decomposition, or in the long standing or in the presence of some catalyst. So this metal ammonia solution, they show high conductivity which vary with the concentration. If the solution is dilute, then it is highly conducting. But if we increase the concentration of metal ion in this solution, then the conductivity starts decreasing. So dilute metal ammonia solution, they are excellent electrolytes. These blue metal ammonia solutions, they are paramagnetic, indicating the presence of unpaired electrons. So when this metal they dissolve in liquid ammonia, then it will convert into M plus plus electron. So because of the presence of this electron, this solution is paramagnetic. The M when dissociate, it will form M plus, this M plus and this one electron. So because of this electron, this is paramagnetic. Clear? So this ammonia solution, this liquid ammonia solution, they will surround this M plus ion. That's why it is known as ammoniated cation, because metal M plus ion is surrounded by this solvent ammonia. That's why it is known as ammoniated cation. Okay, and the electron that is released by the formation of M plus is also surrounded by liquid ammonia. Okay, so this electron when surrounded by liquid ammonia, that is known as ammoniated electron. So this ammoniated electron is responsible for the blue color of the ammonia solution, metal ammonia solution. So this electrons, they are responsible for the blue color of the solution. Clear? Ammoniated electron. Okay. So this decrease in paramagnetism with increased metal concentration in the solution suggests that the solvated metal ions and electrons get associated and form non-conducting ion pair. If we increase the concentration of metal in this solution, metal ammonia solution, what will happen? Okay, if we increase the concentration, then it will form this non-conducting ion pair. Because of the formation of this non-conducting ion pair, the conductivity starts decreasing. Okay, so that's why dilute metal ammonia solution, that is highly conducting, but if you increase the concentration, it will form this non-conducting ion pair, and because of the formation of this non-conducting ion pair, the conductivity starts decreasing. Okay, so this is a very important factor for this, that we have to take a dilute solution for increasing conductivity. Next is what is the difference between ammonia and water? Ammonia dissolve alkali metals forming a blue solution without any chemical reaction, whereas water form their hydroxides with alkali metals. This is the difference. Okay, ammonia dissolve alkali metal forming blue solution without any chemical reaction, whereas water form their hydroxide with alkali metals. You can recover metals from the ammonia solution by evaporation, but you can't recover metal from the water solvent. So this is the main difference between ammonia and water as a solvent. Okay. So next is the summary. Let's we summarize the solubility of substances in liquid ammonia. Now liquid ammonia is a poor solvent for ionic substances. Amongst inorganic compounds, nitrate, thiocyanates, perchlorate and most of the cyanides, they are soluble in liquid ammonia. Oxides, hydroxides, carbonates, phosphates, sulfates and most of the sulfides, they are insoluble. Most of the iodides are soluble and bromides are less soluble. Fluorides and chlorides except beryllium 2 positive and sodium plus chlorides, they are practically insoluble. Amongst organic compounds, halogen compounds, alcohols, ketones, esters, simple ethers, phenol and its derivatives, they are generally soluble. Aromatic hydrocarbon, they are sparingly soluble. Alkanes are insoluble and alkynes, they are slightly soluble. So amongst the elements, metal like magnesium, aluminium, calcium, lanthanum, etc., they have a low solubilities in liquid ammonia. Now this is a summary. There are some advantages of liquid ammonia. If you use this liquid ammonia as solvent, there are number of advantages also. First is the dissolution of alkali metals in liquid ammonia without chemical reaction is the greatest advantage of using liquid ammonia as a solvent. The dissolved alkali metal, they can be recovered from the solution by evaporation. But if you use water as solvent, you can't recover the metal from the solvent. So this is the main advantage of liquid ammonia. The alkali metal solution liquid ammonia, they are strong reducing agent, even stronger than hydrogen. And a third property, which is very important property of liquid ammonia, it can be used in preparative chemistry, can be used to precipitate sulfides, halides, sulfates and alcohols. Now there is still limitations also of liquid ammonia. Because of the low temperature and high pressure is required while working with liquid ammonia. Liquid ammonia, they have minus 33.5 degrees Celsius to minus 77.5 degrees Celsius. That's why we require low temperature and high pressure to handle this liquid ammonia. That is very difficult to create that conditions. Now this liquid ammonia is hygroscopic in nature, hence all the reactions are to be carried out in a sealed tubes. And this liquid ammonia, they have a offensive odor. So there are some limitation also of this solvent. There are some advantages also. So we can consider both these properties before advantage and limitations before using ammonia as a non-aqueous solvent. So various questions can be covered from this topic, that what are the various physical properties of liquid ammonia, and how the why the metal ammonia solution is blue in color, because of the presence of ammoniated electrons. How the conductivity varies with the increase in the concentration of metal ion. So sometime question will come कि how the conductivity varies if we increase the concentration. The conductivity decreases. You can say the conductivity decreases if we increase the concentration of the metal. So various questions can become from this topic. What are the various limitation of non-aqueous solvent if we use non-aqueous solvent liquid ammonia? What are the various advantages of liquid ammonia if we use liquid ammonia as a solvent? So these type of questions can become from this topic or can be asked in the examination. So in the next lecture I will discuss the various chemical properties of liquid ammonia. So in the next lecture I will discuss the various chemical properties. So thank you.